Wow, 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 wow. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, I want to appreciate everybody. Yes, thank you very much for joining. Please go ahead and invite other people. Go ahead and invite other people. My name is Paul-Esupofo, the lead instructor of Special Drama Film School Online. Our Saturday is always interactive session. It's always a great time to be here again. It's always a great day to be here again. I want to appreciate all of you. Thank you. We have a guest tonight. Is going to be joining us very shortly uh, on a wonderful topic, because this topic is so much interesting. Knowing the difference and all that, and I just want to post the question, what we are discussing tonight again, so that some of us can have it there, so that people will not be asking, oh, what is the question tonight? What are they talking about tonight? And that's a very, very good thing. And you have access to call us. You can call the number, and you can also make yourself available to what we have tonight. Okay, so we are having this question, and you can also call to contribute, which is very, very important tonight. So let's have the music. Tonight we are having an interactive session with Pastor Ojimadu. Pastor Ojimadu. If Pastor is there, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for Pastor now to join us. Let's go on with the music. So if Pastor is there, whatever is there, just tell us you are there. Tell us the name, the country you are watching from. We are talking on a very, very powerful, interesting topic tonight. So if you are there and you're joining, just tell us, my name is So. I'm watching from So. Let me know. Let me know where you're watching from. It's a question that people often ask from time to time. People get it confused, and out of curiosity, some months ago, I dropped it on Facebook. I was thinking, I asked myself, Paul, do you actually know? Do you actually know the difference between the two? And I discovered I don't know the difference. That's the truth. I didn't know the difference. I know that people say England, Great Britain. I didn't know the difference, honestly. And as you're joining, please just tell us where you're watching from, and if Pastor Ojimadu also in the house, just signify to us, and we'll call straight away. People talk about what's the difference between Great Britain. I want to confuse you more. What is the difference between Great Britain? People say Britain, Great Britain, UK, United Kingdom, England, and Europe. And congratulations to England today. They won their match 2 goals to 0 to Sweden. That's a very good one. As a scriptwriter, how should I use them? And we are bringing a pastor, is a social pastor who understands what goes on in the field of filmmaking and production as a whole. People are looking, why do you have to call a pastor to this? Yes, because he has been living in Europe with his family for quite some time now. And I know quite a number of people, when they talk about that, well, you hear me say Europe, okay, good. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it. What is the United Kingdom? What is the Great Britain? What is the Two names like that. So many names, even ISUs of British ISUs and all those stuff. So please go ahead, send invitation. You can just send a link to me now. Then I will accept it here. Okay. So let's go. Let's go now. So you are free to call on. You can call tonight. Don't call on the WhatsApp. Don't call on the WhatsApp. You can call directly to the number, or you also want to participate. Just tell us here. Then I'll be able to bring 1 or 2, 3 people forward in showing forth. So we want to go straight to the to eat. So if you are there, just tell us your name, write your name, tell us your name, and please share the video immediately. You know, that's one of the things. Every Monday to Friday we have 9:30 a.m. Nigeria time. Saturday and Sunday is 9:30 p.m. respectively Nigeria time, just to make sure that everybody is getting blessed. Everybody is getting blessed on what we are to do and how we're supposed to be doing. No, I'm a scriptwriter. I'm writing. I'm just giving myself as an hero now. I'm a scriptwriter. I'm writing, and I'm thinking, how do I put this thing? So scene 1, the guy used UK. Scene 2, the guy used Great Britain. Scene 3, the guy used Europe. Scene 4, he used England. Scene 5 is a great ISIS. Now, why is it confused? Why it should not be confused? You know, and those are the things this evening I want us to talk about. I really want us to really talk about. So we're going to be having Pastor now. Okay. So let's hold on, please. Let's go. Okay. Let's go. So as you're joining in, you can call directly to the number. And let's have Itolu Olanrewaju. You're doing a great job. Thank you very much for sharing the video. It's going now. Let's go now. Yes. Let's have Pastor Ojimadu in the house. So please share and invite people. How many of us have had this problem before? How many of us have had this issue before? How many of us have this challenge before? How many of us have had this kind of time that can we have the music up sometime? How many of you have had the issues before and you couldn't get it, and you couldn't get it very well? How many of us have had that issues before, that maybe you're writing a particular thing, and this actually I don't want to release everything. I want Pastor to come up to tell us something. I don't want to release everything in just this way. Okay. People even say, oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what made up what we are doing. What actually is the confusing pattern there? Okay. So please press on the green button, Pastor. Then I will accept it here. Because I didn't see you making a comment. So if you want to make a comment, then I'm able to invite now. So share the live video. Share it. Let's share the live video with a lot of people. So go ahead and share the live video. And if you're set, just let me know. I want to thank God for your life. I want to thank God for everybody. You have been doing fantastic job in filmmaking. Last week we have I have to quickly appreciate that. We have a wonderful elder in the house, a very, very wonderful elder who did a very good something. Donald James Parker. He did a very wonderful thing. I must confess, that's awesome thing. It did. So let's go. We now have Pastor Ojimadu ready now. Okay, so in the next 1 minute, we have Pastor Ojimadu live here right now. Pastor Ojimadu, you are. We have Pastor Ojimadu here. Okay, Pastor Ojimadu is in the house already. He's going to say, yes, we have Pastor Ojimadu live here already. Okay, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Brother Paul. Good evening, everybody.
All right, sir. Yes, sir. Wow. Thank you very much for joining. I know people have been looking for this place for some time. Actually, Pastor have been so busy. Pastor have been so busy, so I understand and all that. Thank you very much for joining tonight. God bless you, sir.
God
How
bless
is
you
the
too.
family? How's the queen in
They're
the house and
wonderful.
the princess?
The
Thank you so
queen and
much.
the prince and the princesses, they're all doing great, you know.
Beautiful,
Having a
beautiful,
right.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I want us to go straight to what we have, and I will be making some other influence to hit. People have been
Okay.
confused oftentimes. I thought it was
Okay.
just my curiosity. But when I begin to do research, I discovered that it's not just my curiosity, it's what everybody has been facing in a way. What was that? What is the difference between Great Britain, United Kingdom, England, and Europe? This is a scriptwriter. He said, I don't know how I should use them. First sin, he put Great Britain. Second sin, he put Britain. Third sin, he put United Kingdom. Fifth sin, he put England. And the last sin, he was putting Europe. So which one are we talking about? And I discovered that this is a great question everybody has been having issue with. Can you do justice, sir? A brief
All right.
introduction about yourself. I've done it, but I want more.
Okay. I am Ojimadu. Like you already said, I'm a social pastor. I'm based in Ukraine. I've been in this part of the world for quite a long time, and well, here with my wonderful family, and I'm a businessman. Like I say, I'm involved in a lot of things. You know, I try to gather knowledge. I try to pass on knowledge to people, and you know, trying to make the world a better place. So, well, going straight to the point. First of all, I want to congratulate all the English football fans, and I'm in that mood today with the O2 sign. There is a British telecommunication company, you know. This is there. So I'm in the mood. Congratulations, everybody, for that wonderful
Congratulations.
for the victory today. Well, going straight to the point, you know, this is something that, especially in Africa, that a lot of people get confused
Before you
about.
go, I think this is timely, but they didn't know that. I didn't know whether they are going to win or going to lose. You know, this is timely. Thank God we did it in the morning. And we're preparing people, and we're talking about England. England is part of the name people are confused on. So
That's right.
congratulations to England.
To England, not to Great Britain and not to the United Kingdom. This is to England. So we get to that, you know, as we move on. First of all, like I was trying to say, in Africa mostly, a lot of people have this problem. They always have this idea that London, you know, the name London, for them, you know, covers everywhere. It covers the United Kingdom, it covers Great Britain, it covers England as this place. You might have somebody who has a relative living maybe somewhere in Ireland. He might tell you he's in London. He might be in England, but probably somewhere there up north. And he'll tell you, oh, my brother is in London. And then, funny enough, those people who also live in England, but not in London, they always try to tell people, oh, I'm in London. So it's like they help in the confusion as well. So they don't make things better, you know. To many, it's like prestigious to say that, oh, you know, I stay in London or something like that. But if I would say, let's break it down first. London itself is a city. Oh, please, 1 second, please.
It's a football time.
Yeah, football time. Yeah, Russia is playing. London is a town and is the capital of the country of England.
Okay.
England, together with Scotland and Wales, make up the Great Britain.
Okay.
Three countries make up Great Britain.
Three countries make up Great Britain.
Three countries make up Great Britain.
Okay.
And it's a union. Practically, they have their own regional parliaments and governments. They are all part of the Great Britain. Now, the Great Britain, together with part of the Irish island, the northern part, which is also politically independent from the rest of Ireland. Northern Ireland together with Great Britain, make up what we call today as the United Kingdom. So that's why it's called the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So,
so it's not even just United Kingdom. It's not just Great Britain. It's United Kingdom of Great
Britain and Northern Ireland. That is the full
Northern
name.
Ireland. Okay.
And Northern Ireland.
That's the full name. That's the full short of UK. All the UK. That's the short form.
Right. That is the short form.
Wow.
It's the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So, and if I may explain better, I mentioned about Ireland, the Irish island. Sometimes when people say Ireland, in the real sense of it, they are talking about the island of its own, a big island called Ireland, but then politically divided into two. On the northern part, you have like the Northern Ireland, which is like a separate entity on its own, and you have the Republic of Ireland, and I think in 1922 they got independent from the big British Empire. So it's called the Republic of Ireland. It's a republic. They are not under the Queen. They have their own currency. They use the euro because they're part of the EU. While in the UK today, they still use the pound sterling. So this is very important to remember. You have Northern Ireland, which is part of the United Kingdom, and you have the Republic of Ireland, which is a separate country of its own, no links whatsoever politically with the United Kingdom. So going back again, to tell you why they are all different. The British flag is comprised of the flags of England and that of Scotland.
Okay.
So people wonder why come Wales is not the flag of Wales is not like shown in the flag of Great Britain. It's just simply because before then Wales was like a protectorate of England then. So they use the English flag. I think I'll find the flag and I'll show people so that we really kind of visualize what I'm talking about.
Okay.
While the flag of the United Kingdom comprises of the flag of Great Britain and that of a particular flag of Northern Ireland, and that makes up what you and I know as the Union Jack.
Union Jack
flag. Union Jack. The flag called the Union Jack.
Okay.
The Union Jack. Union Jack. So we need to understand this. If I may break it down again. London is a town and is a capital. Is a capital of England.
Okay.
Then England together with two other countries or regions, Scotland and Wales, make up the Great Britain.
So there are a lot of confusion for a longer time of when you say London, people think you're talking about Great Britain.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? So when they talk about London, people think of Great Britain as Britain. Whereas London is the capital city of the England.
Of England. Though it also serves as the political capital of the Great Britain.
Great Britain. Okay.
All right. Let me show you what I mean. I think everybody will see this.
Yes. Yes. Very clear.
Right. Up here we have the flag of England.
Okay.
And here you have the flag of Scotland.
Okay.
Okay. Now, like I mentioned earlier, England, Wales then was like a protectorate of England. So they are represented here. So England with Scotland, you see they merge these two flags to get this. Plus.
Okay.
To get this. This is the British flag.
Okay.
Now, this one here now represents the flag of Northern Ireland, one of the flags that they use, the political flag of Northern Ireland. So merging the British flag with the Northern Irish flag gives us this particular popular flag that you and I know that is called the Union Jack.
Union Jack
is the flag of the United Kingdom of Northern Ireland and Great Britain. And Great Britain is comprises of England, Scotland, and Wales, which has been a protectorate of England from the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. So
beautiful.
I think this flag, kind of shows us, it's an illustration now about, how this whole. This is what it's all about. So there's no need. People need to really understand it. Just look, this flag, like I said, illustrates everything. It illustrates everything. So you can see the measure of the flags. The two flags form this. This plus this now gives us this. This is the Union Jack. It was that represented practically the British Empire.
From the very two or three, merge one plus another one, which is an island, Republic of Ireland, to have a Union Jack.
That's right, the Union Jack. And this has been the flag that was flown all over the British colonies, including our Nigeria, all along. When Nigeria got independence, this was the flag that was lowered for the green and white flag to be raised, giving showing Nigeria's independence. So this is what you see mostly, everywhere. This is the Union Jack representing the flag. This is the flag of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Before you continue, sir, I want to appreciate those people that are joining. Maybe from your end, you can mention some people. I can't see everybody here, but I have Oriyomi Anotajina. I have Lariwaju Tolu and all that, and the rest like that. Thank you. This is actually a kind of powerful researching work, because I believe I've taught you at least. Thank God you are one of the encouragers at the very beginning. And can I tell you, this anniversary season that is ending tomorrow, this is 1 year 10 months 1 year 10 months of this class online. Can you believe it?
Wonderful.
1 year 10 months of this class online.
Wow.
And I've mentioned of being an ardent researcher, and I discovered that we have had some time to speak together, and I have seen the way you dish out information based on research that I've done, and I see that, oh wow, this man is not just a man, not just a pastor who only knows spiritual thing alone. He also is sound in knowing what is happening in his environment, and I want to appreciate that. I appreciate everybody that have joined. Please, as you are joining, write your own comment. If you have had a problem like that as a scriptwriter, and you are asking the same question, how should I use them? You are hearing now. Don't assume you know it. You can Google it, but you may not understand it. All right? You can get it and get the information, you may not understand it unless you are really part of the Europe, or you are part of the European Union. Okay? So unless you have been studying for some time, or you have been living there, or you have somebody, or you have done your geography very well, and you can understand it. Thank you very much. Go on, sir.
All right. Yes, and if I may say something, a lot of things also make people get confused about this. Like in sports, for example, in the Olympics. The United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, they go together as a team. But then, you see that they usually use like they might use the flag, the Union Jack, to represent, showing the competing country or region, the UK. But then they might call it their abbreviation GBR, Great Britain. You understand? And even in some international codes, even they use Great Britain.
I've seen that enough.
Referring to the United Kingdom. Even the Universal Postal Union, they use Great Britain as a reference to the United Kingdom. So they also help in that confusion as well. But all the same,
confusion. And whereas the Great Britain is not a country, it's a landmass. It's a landmass sort of.
It's a political union, yes, of this country. And you know that a few years ago, Scotland had a referendum. They wanted to leave Great Britain, and narrowly the pro-independent people, they lost, and Scotland still remained in the Great Britain. So like I was saying, like in the Olympics, for example, the British Olympic Association, they represent totally the Great Britain and Northern Ireland Olympic team, the UK team, and that's it. So, and in Olympics, that's why you see them writing Great Britain, but they represent the United Kingdom as a whole. So that confusion is there. If you know what is going on, I mean, you know that it is just like one of those.
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, do you think this topic is worth discussing in the first place, aside being a scriptwriter? Do you think this is worth doing? Do you think, have you ever seen people talking about this before, maybe clarifying it on the television, on the radio, or before now?
Frankly, this is something you rarely hear about, because some people are so drowned in the confusion that everything goes. My brother is in London. Maybe he's somewhere in Northern Ireland, or he might be somewhere in Scotland, and everything goes. People go ahead with it, so they don't mind. But I believe that strongly that it's very, very important for everybody, for a scriptwriter, a film producer. You have to, if your movie has to be realistic, everything going on there has to be correct.
Yeah.
You cannot write London, Wales. You cannot write Cardiff, England. Everything has to be correct. You cannot write Abuja, capital of Niger Republic. That is wrong.
Yeah.
So, for a scriptwriter, it's very important to have your information correct. And that is why, even in movies, actors, because everything has to be very realistic. If maybe you're going to have a movie, if you're going to act a movie where policemen are going to be involved, or the military, or it's going to be a movie about the police or the military, or a drunkard, or it doesn't matter. Actors go to learn those things properly. They even get instructors.
That's right.
They get consultants from those places to make sure they teach them even the jargon they use, the attitude, the terms. You have to get the ranks ready and all those stuff, so that everything has to be correct. So I'll give you an example. When Will Smith, was studying on the set, was about to act in the movie, Muhammad Ali's movie, he stayed with Muhammad Ali for months. He stayed with Muhammad Ali for months, lived with him practically, just to know who Muhammad Ali is as a person, his character, his personality, so that he will be in a good position to bring out that personality in the movie. Jamie Foxx also, when he acted as Ray Charles, the same thing happened. He stayed with Ray Charles. Ray Charles taught him how to play the piano properly like he played, so that he acted the movie. And if you're watching movies, like you're watching Ray Charles, or you're watching like Muhammad Ali, when Will Smith is acting. So it's very important that you make sure you do your research well. Do your research well, so that your movie can be very, very realistic. Like you were saying, somebody made a movie, he's writing Great Britain, then later he put Britain, then later he put Europe and things like that.
That's great scenario, yeah.
Yeah, it can mess up the scenario and get people confused, in the whole thing. So it's what talking about. It's what understanding. It's something that a scriptwriter, a producer, a director, even everybody should have that in the back of their mind, that this is what we are, doing. It's very important, so that your thing, everything will be very, very realistic. I remember recently, Lufthansa had a problem. They were doing an advert for this World Cup going on in Russia. And they shot the advert in Kyiv, Ukraine, showing Ukrainian culture and Kyiv, the capital city, and while referring to Russia.
That is it.
And people noticed this. I was like, though the two countries, they have a lot of similarities in culture and language and everything, but these are two different countries. So I think they had to pull up they were saying that, it was cheaper for us and very convenient to do the advert in Kyiv. That they're doing it in Kyiv, in Ukraine, and you're talking about Russia, and these are two different places. So going back to that, it should be right for a scriptwriter to know geography, politics, everything he has to know, so that he can write his script properly make it believable, and make it very realistic. You know, it's very, very important. Definitely, it's very, very important. So
I'm happy you are giving me my notes back. I'm happy you are giving my notes back, and that's very, very good. To be sincere with you, you are just like this. I think it's peculiar. Is it peculiar to Europe? Because when you talk about Russia, many people, when they say Ukraine, Kharkiv, the same spelling, you know, they get confused again. But I don't want to go into that. But maybe briefly explanation on that. Is it peculiar to the Europe? Because I know Europe is a continent, just like West Africa, you know, all those ones, and coming to Nigeria and all those stuff. Is it peculiar to Europe? Because I know that they have small countries, or some of them are states, or some of them are now becoming independent states that have now given country. So what can you say about that? Is it peculiar to them or what?
I would say peculiar to Eastern Europe, because you know about then you had the Soviet Union that was formed like in the early 20s, 30s. You know, more countries were, you know, gobbled up together, forming the Soviet Union, which was then made up of 15 countries. And it was a communist state. The same thing you have like Yugoslavia. So in 1991, the Soviet Union broke down, breaking into 15 autonomous countries. And then Russia, of course, had the largest landmass within the Soviet Union. The official language of the Soviet Union was Russian language. And in the West then, they used to confuse also the same thing. A Soviet and a Russian. They call the whole Soviet Union, they call them Russians. It is a country that has over 100 nationalities in it. Though Russians, ethnic Russians are majority, or we are majority. So it's still like the whole we're having the competition about Great Britain and UK and stuff. So in the West, even the time of the Soviet Union, in the West, people were calling them Russia, Russia, Russia. People didn't know what was USSR, Union of the Soviet Socialist Republics. It was all about Russia, Russia, Russia. So
I remember USSR used to come for World Cup. USSR used to come for World Cup.
That's right. It was after 1991 now you started having other countries coming up themselves together. You have Ukraine, you have Belarus, you have Azerbaijan, you have Turkmenistan, you have, you have Latvia, Litva, Estonia, and these are all separate countries now. See, so they are all independent right now. So the people used to call them Russia. Everything has to do with Soviet Union was like called Russia. Now, Yugoslavia, the same thing. You had the war, then it broke down. Serbia left, Croatia left, Macedonia, and they are all separate countries as of today. So it was something peculiar, I would say, with Eastern Europe, politically. Then we started with the breakdown of the Soviet Union, and then politically, all the other ones also had to start searching for independence. Not just in the Soviet Union, also in the Eastern Bloc, like they were called then. And today, the population of the number of countries in Europe increased due to the breakdown of the Soviet Union and Yugoslavia. So
that's a very I intentionally chipped that one in because it's a very good thing for me to chip in at this point in time. For our viewers, thank you very much for joining. You are free to ask any question to our guest today with Pastor Ojimadu. And I'm so happy because he's really, he understands what he's saying very well, not just saying it. And I'm going to do something for him I didn't tell him before. I'm going to shock him by doing that one. So get ready for the bomb. Get ready for the bomb and all that. So, but not a bad bomb. It's a good one. All right. So just relax your mind. Yes, I like doing. All right. Now, we have King of Wales and we have Queen of Great Britain. Or Queen of England. Queen of England. Why that thing under the same roof? It's not about football. No. It's not about football. We are not Dan Madrid. It's not about football. We are talking about Scriptwriter who doesn't know what to put together. And he's dealing with Europe as a continent, but he didn't know how to put those things together, and that's what we're talking about. No problem. You are free to contribute. It's not football tonight. Yes, sir.
It's politically, even from the 15th century, you've had this political union even between you had the Queen of England, you have the King of Wales, and you have all that. But then, even like let's say in 1603, right? Let's say the Queen Elizabeth I of England died, and the closest relative, who was King James VI of Scotland, became the King of England as well as
King James
of Scotland.
Is it not the same King James version?
The one of course, he's from Britain. He's the one that did the King James version of the Bible. The King James himself. Yeah. Okay. So you see that it has been a union that has been there together in the British Empire for centuries. So they are all related, all these kings. Mm-hmm. So the King James VI of Scotland then became the King of England, and the second King of Scotland. But today, politically, you just have one, because they are all related. You just have one royal family, which is headed today by the Queen Elizabeth that we know, the second. And her powers goes through the whole of the United Kingdom. So that is why the Princess Diana was Princess of Wales. This one can be the Prince of Edinburgh. It doesn't matter, because it's all the same family. So you can be princess here. Meghan now has given her, I've forgotten the princess of which region that they gave her. The new princess that got married to the prince. So today there's only one ruling family, the Queen of England.
Maybe let me claim myself. This just being curious. Maybe two of them are married before, and that was in Yoruba land, in Nigeria, when this war, the husband and wife can be warriors, and they got married to themselves. After a while, they will have to part their ways and say, "You go and rule this land. I will rule this land." This is I want to be. Queen Elizabeth is doing a very good job. But we don't hear more of King of Wales. Yeah. We don't hear more of King of Wales so much.
Yeah.
But they husband and wife before.
There anymore. They were all related. Like I mentioned, when Queen Elizabeth I died, it was the King of Scotland that became king of the whole territory. It's the whole family, and that was the closest relative then of the King of England, of the Queen of England then, Elizabeth I. So it's a family thing. It's a family thing. But everything has now come under, they put everything politically correctly now under a good pyramid like that, with the Queen as the head. Now, next in succession is who? Prince of Wales, Prince Charles.
Okay. So if the Queen should die now, it's going to be king? Wow.
Would that his title? He's the Prince of Wales now becomes the
That would be the title. It's not going to be Queen of England. Hello? Hello, is frozen from his end. It's frozen from his end. It's frozen from his end. Well, we're going to have him back. I think the network from his own end. This is wonderful. This topic. I'm just glad about this topic. Honestly, it's a very, very remarkable thing. It's a very, very remarkable thing to talk about this, and he's doing a very good justice to this. And all that. I think the network came back. Okay, welcome back, sir. The network went from your end.
Yeah, I think it's from my end. Yeah. So what I was trying to say is this: you have all the titles now. All these are not like the political union is so much merged so much now. The ruling family is just one, And they now give titles now. Titles. Prince Charles is giving the title the Prince of Wales. So it doesn't mean that he's from Wales and he has nothing to do with the royal family again. They are now just titles. Titles. So tomorrow he becomes the king. He becomes the king. So whatever title they're going to give him, King of who? You can call him King of England. He rules. King of Wales. I don't know how they're going to do that. They choose. He's going to be the king. And then he rules over the whole of the United Kingdom. So they can call him
somebody
King
saying, Brain Infe, you're welcome. Brain Infe say, if the king dies now, Prince Charles can't be the king.
Hey, my boss, Brian, brother Brian. If the queen dies, why can't Prince Charles be king, sir? He's less in line. Why can't he, sir? He's next in line to succession.
He said he can't be the king again. He said he can't be a king again. Why?
Well, I don't see any reason for that, sir, that he can't be king again. Yeah. Maybe he can tell us, you know.
Yes, because when people are not writing, this we have. One of the things I do is that most times I ask questions as a researcher, and I want to make sure that even I say the queen says so.
Well, frankly, I've not heard that. It's not a problem. It's not because he's not. Maybe
the son will be the king.
Reason. Yeah, it could be for different.
I got it. Yeah. Is that the reason? Is that
he's next
the
in
son
line.
of the he's next in line from his explanation. The son of the king will be the king. The son of Charles, King Charles, will be the king.
Yeah, I mean, if the royal, if the queen has made that decision, then that's it. But first in line of succession is the Prince of Wales, Prince Charles. If he
correct.
Refuses,
it's good that
he has to.
Yeah,
they can. If the mom tells him this was going to happen, he has to accept it, and he himself should abscond the throne and leave it for his son now to take over. That one is no problem with that. The son can become king. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Even that Queen Elizabeth that became king today became king because his brother refused. Because he was supposed to marry. The lady he chose. Just I've forgotten the name. The lady he chose. If he had married the lady, he has to choose the one. Either marrying and forgetting about the throne, or don't marry her and stay as the king. He chose love. He married the lady and left the throne, and now the queen, the sister of Elizabeth, now became the queen. So he chose to leave that. Yeah, brother Brian, my honorable sir, I hail you too. Thank you for joining.
This is good. This is good. I'm happy about this discussion tonight. Honestly, I'm happy. And let me quickly give my bomb before I go on. Well, you have seen me talking and sharing a particular services about students who want to study in Ukraine. He didn't tell me to do this, but I just had to do that for him. He's going to talk about it. That's the bomb I want to give him, in case, so that you don't fall into the hand of the rock 419s. When I come up like this, I'm putting my life on the trust. You understand what I mean by that? So that's why I'm putting my life on the trust that you don't fall into the hand of 419 that tell you that come to Ukraine, come to Russia, and they will help you out. And at the end of the day, you go there 3 months before your school begins at all. And they begin to push you left and right. So maybe say Uncle B, this is good. So Pastor, can you just shed more light a bit about that? Yes, I know you didn't prepare for this, but it's a bump. In case somebody is listening, somebody wants to study Ukraine.
Yeah, I would say that, being in this part of the world for a very long time now and being in Ukraine, we have a lot of foreign students here. Nigerians, Africans in general, Asians, from different parts of the world. So, and being who I am, I find myself in a position that people always come to me, come to my wife for advice, for help. for intervention, because you have agents, student agents, who help universities here in Ukraine. Because the law in Ukraine here, the universities don't give admission directly to students. They work through agents. The agents get the students, get everything prepared, and they bring them to study in this part of the world. So, and unfortunately, there are a lot of dubious agents that they take a lot of money from these students. When they come over here, some of them get stranded. They get duped. Maybe they tell them you're coming to study first year, and when the student gets there, they put the person in preparatory course, where the school fee, the tuition fee is very, far lower than that of the first year. Some of them, they give them a hostel instead of, giving them a hostel for a year. They give them for 6 months, and they take money prior before that. And a lot of issues. A lot of students get stranded. Some of them, the agents bring them in, take money from them, and they disappear. So it's a big problem. So very often, my wife and I will always have to kind of intervene, help them settle their school issues, and to help them get settled, and to also try to get these agents to book. So now, I believe that when you see a problem, you are the solution to that problem. So for many years now, we've been doing this, and I was like, well, I think we should go into a preventive, start taking preventive steps instead of just doing the corrective that we are doing. Let's have an agency that will help bring students here to Ukraine, let them settle, keep everything properly in life should be, so they don't fall into the hands of people who are con men,
wrong agents,
and unfortunately, they fall into many agents who are not even like the Nigerian students. Many of them fall into the hands of some dubious agents who are not even Nigerians. Some of them are Asian. So you don't know where you're going to find this person tomorrow. You come here, he meets you at the airport, takes you to the school, takes money from you, tells you you're going to pay for this and pay for that, and that might be the last time you see the person. And a lot of things, happen here. It take time to explain. So that is why, like, made up my mind. I said, okay, it's time to have an agency that can really, really render the services properly, with reputation, with accountability, everything is very, very transparent. And the students will know that just not having an agent, you know that you have a big brother here, a father, an uncle who can take care of you. As long as you're in this part of the world. It's not just about money or anything, that the person is going to have that covering, whether spiritual, as a mentor, and every other thing. Okay, Brother Brian is asking, am I in Ukraine now? Yes, Brother Brian, I'm in Ukraine. I'm in the city of Kharkov. So, and the name of the company is Jovity Academic Group. Jovity Academic.
Say that again.
Jovity.
Okay, you can drop the link. You can drop the link before, maybe after we finish, you can drop the link so that people can follow. I have shared it among many people. I like the page, and I've shared it because I believe in the last 2 years, I've known Pastor Ojimadu, and I've seen him as a credible person. And in fact, I've asked a lot of terrible questions, and he has answered them in a very wise and with wisdom of God. In the kingdom of God, God bless you. Well, my name is Paul-Esupofo. By the grace of God, I'm a filmmaker. I'm a Christian filmmaker. I believe in kingdom filmmaking to impact the world, giving a salute to the society and the world at large. And we do this from Monday to Friday, Saturday and Sunday. But Monday to Friday is 9:30 a.m. Nigeria time. Saturday and Sunday is 9:30 p.m. We look at that 9:30 p.m. because of the situation and maybe on location. And people like festive period. People like activities. So if people want to go for party and you make it in the morning, you may not see anybody coming to the class in the morning because they want to. But by 9:30 in the evening, they are already relaxing, going back to their own, either on their way home or they are just relaxing at home. Back to our things. That's a very bomb I gave please, Jovit Academic Group is there for you to really, really do justice. Don't fall into wrong hands. This is one of the
That's
best
right.
hands I can recommend to you, because even when one of our close friends, alumni, one of our alumni fell into wrong hand, he is the one
Yeah.
that rescued me out. He was the one that gave a full information that was able to put things right. So he's not the type that if you don't go through them, they won't help you out. Even if you're in problem right now, you're watching, you can get in touch with him. He will sort you out. That's just the truth. So he's going to sort you
Yeah.
out, and it's going to be on a very affordable price by the grace of God.
That's right.
Like he
That's
said,
right.
yeah, not only money, it's about covering, spiritual covering, and knowing where to go,
That's
so that you
right.
don't fall into wrong and strange doctrines too, so that you can guide yourself in the right direction. All right. So thank you very much. I
That's
want to
right.
ask
And
two
if I may
questions.
chip in,
Yes, sir.
about what you're talking about, for those in Nigeria, we also have representatives in Nigeria who can help the person get everything done, documents, everything, getting the person, to the embassy, make sure all these documents, all the requirements are met, and so that the rate of, or maybe visa refusal would be practically, minimal for the person to get his visa to come and to study in Ukraine. So we help over there in Nigeria, and we also continue the whole process over here in Ukraine.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you have heard the story very well. So please follow the due process. These are not people that want to do dubious things. These are people of credibility. So if I say that, I have watched over the months, and I tell you it's true. So by the grace of God, this question of something we want to cover about scriptwriter, because next week by the grace of God, Pastor is going to come up again on the topic of filmmaker and social media. He's a social pastor, so he will come and tell us about social life. So we're going to be talking about filmmakers, Christian filmmakers, and social media. But before we leave him, because Ifeanyi is really he's a wonderful fellow. It's going to be a wonderful thing. Hold on, please.
All right.
All right, welcome back. Well, Nigeria, I've already get prepared. My data just got exhausted. So once I see it, I quickly reconnect. I quickly reconnect. Is Pastor there? Pastor, are you there? Okay. So as you're talking, I discovered that this information uh, has really been a great help to a lot of people. Has really been a great help to a lot of people. If you can pay attention, if you can pay attention to it, and I must confess something. It's the two questions I have for Pastor is actually let me a very very wonderful one. Number one, yes, brain. If you say I've known him to be a man of good faith, wow, wow, that's a big one. That's a big one. If somebody's saying that, that's a big one, and that's a big one. The Lord will preserve you. The Lord will keep you more and more about that. and all that. So the Lord will keep all of us too to be men of faith and man of good faith and truth, as we have always loved to be and we are being. And the Lord will keep us. So my question, Pastor, are you there? Is Pastor there? Okay, it's frozen from his end. Let me quickly say this. This topic is an eye-opening to a lot of people. If we are writing about any country, any city, anywhere, it doesn't have to be overseas. It could be your local environment. It could be your community. You need to do a little research, if not more research, before you start writing. In advertisement, in writing a documentary, there's something we call brief. So when we do brief, brief goes a long way. Brief goes a long way for people to really understand that you gather information before you go and sit down in writing whatever you want to write. Maybe the person has even given you some information. You'll be able to say, okay, I have to go to this, I have to get this, and all that. Well, we are still waiting for Pastor. Wow. Okay. Pastor, are you there? Okay. Is Pastor there? Okay. Okay, Pastor can call in back. Let's have Pastor back when he's back. So let's okay. So I'm adding him back. So Brother Brain, that's a very good contribution tonight. You really open some areas. Maybe we would have just left it like that, but you really touched those areas so that we don't leave it like that. And the two questions I will have for Pastor. Number one, Europe as a whole. What is the general belief? If people, what is the general culture of Europe as a whole? That's the question. I would love to ask Pastor if he comes up again. Okay, Europe as a person, Europe as a continent, Europe as a continent. What is the general overview? What's the general view? And if you're watching me and you know this question too, you can respond to it. Okay, you can respond to it. Darling Madu, thank you very much for joining. Anota Jinat, thank you so much. Quite a number of people who are there. And Brian Payne said, "You are right. But the Queen use her power to change the system." And he said the Queen today used her power to change the system now. Okay. And let's go. Brain, you are the man. God bless you. Yes, Pastor Ojimadu, I'm calling you again to answer that question. What's the general culture of Europe? What's the general culture of Europe? What's the general culture of Europe generally? What's the general culture of Europe? 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 So Pastor Ojimadu has been doing a very wonderful thing, and then after that one is word of encouragement to the class. That's the last thing I want to ask from him. That's the last thing I want to ask from him. It's very important. Okay, he's here again. Okay. It's going to come up now. It's going to be coming up now. So, Brother Brain, you can also answer that question. What's the general culture of Europe as a continent? What's the general culture of Europe as a continent? I hope it's not frozen from your hand. It's going here. What's the general culture of Europe? What's the general culture of Europe? Okay. What's the general culture of Europe? What's the general culture of Europe. So that's where we're going to step in. Let me just play some music. Let me play some music right now. Our Saturdays, we don't build a dull moment. It's always a fantastic moment for us to enjoy ourselves as, as, as the Lord pleases, as the Lord enables, and all that. So the only thing is that I've always been careful uh, playing any foreign song. All right, Pastor, join again. Uh, while we're waiting to have those two questions answered, so where we have the question answered, you can refresh, Pastor. So, Brother Brian, please let me hear your comment too. All right. So every Saturday we come, we make sure that we have a very wonderful time. And because we're going to be having him next week too, so we want to make sure that everything we can go and we go next week for another. Okay, Pastor is here. Okay, Pastor is here. All right. I've asked the two questions. I've asked the two questions. What's the general culture of the Europe generally as a continent? And what's your encouraging word before we go tonight?
Well, talk about the culture of Europe. Well, of course, every country in Europe has its own culture, the distinct culture. But in general, let me talk about the people, Europeans as a people in general. They are very, something sets them apart if you compare them with Africans. Europeans are very disciplined. They believe in themselves so much.
Very disciplined, believe in themselves.
Self-belief is very high there. They believe, most importantly, they believe in teamwork, in group achievements. Unfortunately, this is what we are lacking in our continent in Africa. In Africa, we only think of ourselves. That's why we have the kind of politicians we have today. That is why we are not moving ahead as a group of people. I'll come back to that. That is why Europe has developed, has gotten to where it is today. They came to Africa, to the Caribbean, they plundered the wealth there to do what? To go back home to develop themselves. They believe that they believe that together they can achieve everything possible. That is one thing very distinctive about Europeans. So they want to take care of themselves. They want everything to be in order. Everything has its own place and its own time. They are very diligent in what they are doing. They are very organized in what they are doing in their own thing. So let me just call this is their culture. This is what they are made of. Going into culture aspect, I'm not going to talk about the clothes they wear or the kind of music they play or no traditions and stuff. These are the foundation of who they are. And that is why it's one of the richest region you can talk about in the world today. That is why it was easier for them to form the European Union. Because they believe in togetherness is might. They can achieve more together. That's why. That's right. That's why they found it very easy to come together.
Achieving more.
That is it. So the richer people, they cover the poorer ones. In the EU today, you have countries like Spain, Portugal. These are poor. They are poor. They're not richer than any average African country. They are being well covered by other richer Europeans. Portugal, Spain, they get subsidies from the EU to grow their economy, so that their GDP will remain, the standard that you have to be a member of the EU. They have the Schengen region, the Schengen open borders. You get visa to go to Italy, you can use it to go to Lithuania, you can use it to go to Belgium, to Netherlands.
I think about 200 countries or so.
No, about 25 now. Thereabout.
25 now. Okay.
Schengen, 25 thereabout. The Schengen, Schengen territory now. So they're coming together. Free market. You don't have this here, have that over there. Okay, it's not like you're selling it to me. We are one country. I can move it to you easily. You move yours to me. They believe in unity. And that's why they're strong. So it's something Africa has to learn. We need to learn this.
We need to do
in our
things
local
right.
government. Yes. Knowing that we are doing everything together. We are a group of people. In Igbo, we call it Igwebike. That togetherness or unity is might.
Igwebike.
Igwebike.
Okay.
Yes, that's unity or togetherness is might. Gives us might, is strength, is power. That strength is unity. This is what Europe, is all about. So that's why I always urge our Africans, when I see them in this part of the world, whenever I'm advising these young students, the new ones, I tell them, come on, try and remove that your African mentality about mingling. Don't start squeezing yourself in your unions. Yeah, I'm Yoruba with Yorubas, I'm Igbo with you. No. You understand that here they look at you as a black man first. They don't care if you're from Jamaica or from a black Colombian or you're from South Africa or you're a Sudanese or you're Nigerian. They don't care
as your color is black.
That's it. So I try to tell them that first of all, identify yourself that you are a black man. You're an African. Before you remember you're a Nigerian, not to talk of your Igbo or Hausa or Efik or whatever.
Yeah.
You understand? So, but when they leave, I always tell them, say, please, make sure you maintain this. Make sure you maintain this. I mean, when you come over here, when you see people mingling and doing things together, I mean, let me use Nigerians, for example. It encourages me so much. You see people from different regions, even, they mingle, they do things together, but unfortunately, when we go back to the same environment in Africa, there, of course, that environment still puts everything into your head. Start remembering, I'm from this church, I'm from that town, I'm from this tribe, and this and that, and this and that.
Bring them back to.
Yeah. So it's an unfortunate thing, actually, but I always encourage them to learn and take this kind of experience that they've gotten here in Europe. Go back there. We've seen how things work here. See how things are done. See how people come together to achieve things. Go back there. Start it from your places, your next places, wherever you are. And if everybody handles this in his or her own corner, then we're going to have progress. When you look at us as a group of people. As a group of people, we Africans, we are lagging behind. But when you pick an average African, he's not worse than an average European. In our own days, we studied in Russian language. We were in the same classes, taking lectures with Russians. There's no difference. We're not separated. And even studying Indian language, we as foreigners, we were still better than they are. They will still come to you for lessons, for advice, for for coaching and things like that. They were not the best. They were not better than we foreign students. So individually, you see that they are not better. The way we go back home now, Africans as a group of people, we find it hard to organize ourselves to come together.
That's true. That's true.
Look at it in football. When our guys, they go over there, they play in European leagues, they're one of the best. Individually, they are They are good. They're not worse than any average European player. But when they come here, we form our national teams, everything starts getting upside down. Why? We find it hard to move ahead as a group of people. So, if we're talking about European culture, I want to take it towards the direction of who they are, what makes them tick.
I think I prefer the angle you have gone to.
I just decided to take it to that angle.
No, I love that angle. I must confess, because next week that's one of the bomb I've already prepared. As you are talking, I was expecting to say bomb are ready for you, because you made mention of something tonight about 4 or 5 times. Is politically structured. It's political. So I use that word. I will use it next week. That political.
Okay.
I will use it next week by the grace of God. I want to appreciate Queen there because I had a sound. She didn't serve me the tea. She didn't serve me the tea. So, but I take it as because of distance, and I don't want ET because the only thing she can serve me is ET, electronic tea. So, and I don't know what is inside, but I just assume that it must be tea, not water, because it's mug. So I know that it's going to be tea. So thank you very much.
Actually, it's water. It's very hot here.
Okay.
It's water. It's very hot.
I don't want to assume.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But so what's your final encouragement to
there's
this
something
class?
I want to clarify. Sorry, there's something I want to clarify. When we're talking about the throne, having the King of Wales and this and that, people might wonder, how come we don't have King of Wales now, King of Scotland? What is going on? Let me just touch on that so that we understand. I say that we have a pyramid now where it's one family, sort of, ruling family now. It's like this. Like I mentioned earlier, that in 1603, the King James VI of Scotland replaced who is a relative of the Queen of England, Elizabeth I, that died. The Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth I, then was the Queen of England and Ireland. Like I told you, Ireland was, King of England and Ireland. Now, when she died, her cousin or her relative, who was like the King of Scotland, that King James VI, took over from her. So you're having like a measure of 3 different regions now. England, Ireland. Yeah, England, Ireland, that were under the Queen of England. And then the King James VI of Scotland replaced the relative over here. So he kind of unified. He kind of unified the royal families. Let me put it that way. They used the term called the Union of the Crowns. It was in March 1603. So since then, it has, March 24th, 1603. That was when he took over from Queen Elizabeth after they had death. So it has continued that way. Then agreement was reached that they should remain that way. So that is why it's like Union of Crowns. Everything comes together, and they now have a unified, what I call it, a unified royal family. And that's why what they do, they just, if a prince is born or a princess is brought in, like under marriage, they give her a title. It could be the Prince of Edinburgh, somewhere there in Scotland. This or that. Give you names of those protectorates that form what you have today's royal family. So you have what is called today the Union of the Crown of all these 4 regions, and it covers the whole of the United Kingdom. I just wanted to clarify that so that people won't wonder what is.
That's good. So you have yes, it's good. You have merged the two, because encouraging word for the people watching, maybe a few words for the people watching. People have been coming for the class. Maybe some people off and on. I know some people when they are busy. I know some people watch it offline. So I don't. That's right. I know people watch it offline, so I don't, because sometimes after this one I see about 200 and something view. Maybe at the time of the class is 20 view. When I see that the class is 20 view, in the next 7 hours, I'm seeing 200 and something view, and I know people are watching even after the online. So what's your advice for the viewers who have listened to this and all that?
Yeah. What I will say is, I will advise everybody, it's good to research. It's always good to research. That's why we have the internet. Research. Internet is not just for you to use social media to spread, gossips and fake news and just, sharing your pictures, which tomorrow everybody forgets, and that's it. Use the internet wisely. Moreover, in a country like Nigeria where you have issues with internet, whenever you lay your hands on it, try to learn something. Add value to yourself through the internet. Learn things, so that when you hear a kind of news, already you go like, something is missing here because I know what is going on over there. Let me go and research first. You research it before you even talk about it or discuss it with anybody or even talk about it online on social media. Research, and one more time research. That way you see you're developing yourself and you see that you have everything under control around yourself. So for a scriptwriter, again, research. An individual, please research. Make sure you have things in your palm. The knowledge should be here always. You have any kind of mistake, any kind of doubt or anything, go to the internet. You give the answer, you remember it, and that's it. Tomorrow you can give a lecture about that. So that's the advice I want to give everybody. Research. Research and research.
Thank you, sir. Very well. That's a very good one.
Thank you, sir.
Well, once again, I want to tell you that you have been listening to Pastor Ojimadu all the way from Ukraine. And that's a lot things the Lord has blessed us with. And it's just a blessing. He didn't have a long notice, but he has a short notice, and yet he accepted to be with us for this week and next week. And I say the Lord will bless us. Don't forget, tomorrow is 9:30. We are still on our smartphone filmmaking. And we're going to be entering to the world of editing with your smartphone. So we're going to be continuing tomorrow by the grace of God. If you have missed any class, we have about 600 or 700 videos already. And we need transcribers who are going to help us to do a lot of work because it's becoming bigger and bigger. I don't know when the next time you're going to be anyway. It's about 1,000 videos already. And that means that's a whole lot of videos ahead of the thing, because it's a school on its own, because we're planning to package it, especially on the Word, so that we can have it as a book and then give it out to the world. Okay, maybe going to be on Amazon, maybe going to be on something. So whoever that missed the class will not miss those ones. And whoever that is missing those ones, they will not miss the class. Thank you very much, sir. Greetings to the family. I appreciate you, sir. Till next week, I pray more strength, more anointing in Jesus' name. Greetings to them. Ndewo. Is in Ndewo now.
Thank you for having me. Ndewo. Okay, thank you so much. And bye, everybody.
Bye.